What's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a video podcast where we go over what's making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am joined by my co-host Adi up top there.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. It's been snowing real heavily out here on the East Coast, and I got to enjoy a fantastic weekend in Merida instead. So I'm actually a little sad to be back because it was so idyllic out there. But yeah, we have a
Right.
great episode. We got two regional champions on the episode today, which I'm really excited about.
Two newly crowned just this past weekend. So excited to have both of our guests here. We have your Birmingham regional champion, Stefano. How you doing?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks.
Glad that you could join us today. Excited to hear about your run and your team. And Max, no camera today, but still very happy to have you here with us. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm usually on the other side watching. Yeah, excited to do
Yeah,
this.
you're gonna have to. Sorry, Max. You're gonna have to do double time. You're gonna have to be a guest today and also still type in the Twitch chat because you are one of our most active chatters, and it's gonna be very. We're gonna be missing you. So, just joking, but um, happy to have you on. It's gonna be fun. Um, anyways, let's so before I finish moving us on to our first topics, just mentioning now that this will be uploaded on Audie's YouTube channel tomorrow. Exclamation point YT in the chat here. And if you have any questions for us or our guests, please do put them in the Twitch chat. We'll be reading those as we go along. Yeah, and then also, I mean, I'll plug it here at the beginning, but Audie did just put out a fun champions video as well, so definitely check that out on the YouTube as well. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into it. So we got some minor, sign up tech news here at the beginning, as we always do. And so signups, we're doing this one on a Wednesday. So did this already? I guess it already happened, right?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. And so I think of the players
Stefano,
here,
Are you
yes, I was
are you
gonna
going
say.
to Seville?
Nah, I didn't register.
Now, would you have gone had this weekend played out differently in Birmingham?
Probably no.
Still probably no. Okay, got it. I was just curious
Yeah.
if it was like I'm already qualified for Worlds, I don't even need to bother, or if it was never
Well,
part of the
that
plan.
that helps. That helps for sure.
Yeah, right. I mean, yes. So wait, where is Seville again?
It is in southern Spain.
Southern
Uh,
Spain. Okay. I don't know why. It
I
just
I've said
sounded kind of Italian to me. So I was like, why would you not go to one in Italy? But I'm just stupid.
uh I think Roxanne is originally from there, if I recall correctly.
Oh, okay.
I actually studied abroad there when I was in college for a few weeks, and so I've been there. It's a beautiful city. It's so great. I wish one of these days I will go back. I wish it wasn't a special. It is a regional, right? Or it's a special event.
And it's a
Uh,
special
Mhm.
event.
Special event. Yeah, if it was a regional, I would like one of these days I would consider going back there because it was a cool place to go. But yeah, sadly, a special event. I think when I've talked to a lot of different Europeans, they're like, it's a little hard to get to. It's a very southern tip of Europe, and also there's no prize money, so
No prize
it's
money,
not
that's
high on the
awesome.
priority list for a lot of people. That being, I'm curious how many registrations there are. If anyone in chat knows how many registrations there are, I'd love to hear. But I imagine that this is one of those tournaments that's still going to sell out. It's already full. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's how it goes with the special events because no entry fee, right? Or is it? It's no entry fee, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Snoopy, thank you for the sub. Welcome to Hub Nation. Let's see. So then we also have EUIC reopening. That one is tomorrow on Twitch. Here today, if you're watching on YouTube, and 7 p.m. GMT. So that's I think later than the time we're recording, right? Wait, is no, it's
That's
already
like
7
that's
p.m.
like
Well, it's
two for
like
us, two Eastern time or something.
3 hours
I
before,
think.
I think.
Okay, so it's 2 hours earlier. Got it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Who knows how many this will end up being? This tournament was already massive, but I do know a good number of people that wanted to get in and couldn't. Um, and um, and so yeah, well, I mean, just don't miss that one if you're here watching this now. Don't miss your window. But kind of excited to see how many that adds back. Seville is the last tournament of this format. That might be true. It doesn't tell me when it
Yeah, it is.
is in the schedule. Okay, okay. The
Mhm.
late, like last weekend in March or something. Yeah, that
I
honestly makes it
believe this is
even less exciting.
March 28th, 29th. So it will be
Yes.
the last event of this format. And again, it's crazy. I feel bad for people who have to go and have to keep playing this format when everyone else is kind of off it. And hopefully at that point, we'll either have champions or we'll know what the next format is, and it'll be something new and exciting. And, hard to practice for an event where no one wants to play Recap anymore.
Right.
I think the same thing
Uh,
happened last season with the special event in Spain with I think it was Greg G.
mhm.
Mhm.
Exactly. And it's just yeah, you're stuck playing like on a very dead ladder, playing against like three people, who are going to the same tournament as you. Anyways,
And
I think
uh,
there
and
was
Victory Road does say 760 masters for this one, and it's already sold out.
got it. Okay, all right, that's a pretty solid turnout there. Um, and then this one was Karataro is it's up on the so this one potentially first in champions. We still are kind of waiting for the news on that one because the format will flip on April 1st. We do know that much at the very least. RegF ends on March 31st. But the signups were on this one. Ah, yes, here we go.
There it is.
So that's opening on the 4th, which what is the 4th? It's a Wednesday, so we might end up bringing this up on Tub Takes next week if we record early enough, which we probably will. So, I guess just an early warning on this one for Karataro, and I guess Orlando is going to be coming up soon, which Orlando signups because it's the same weekend, right? I haven't
Mhm.
seen anything posted about that just yet, but yeah, for both this tournament and Orlando, we are in the very, very fun situation where you might have to sign up for the tournament without having to know, or well, without getting to know what format you will be playing, which is always a lot of fun. I am personally very much like so down to go to Orlando for the first tournament of Pokemon Champions, even though the flights I looked at them actually a couple hours ago and they're not looking good for me. However, if it is regulation I or something else in Scarlet and Violet, I don't think I want to be in Orlando playing an old Scarlet
But
and Violet format.
Alex, you could instead come to Querétaro instead, which is much closer than Orlando for you. So, think about that.
It's pretty much. I think it's just more expensive actually for me at least.
uh, Now, I was talking to some people at the event. I think Max was there. We got dinner together, and well, the possibility that there was this little disclaimer for champions that some regions will continue playing in Scarlet and Violet, and LATAM usually gets the shit end of the stick. I feel like when it comes to these sort of things, so there's a small chance that Orlando is on champions and Querétaro is not, which would really suck.
Adi, don't put that evil out into the world, dude. What do you mean? Oh my god. You're not wrong, but it's just shut up. Shut up about it. I'm hoping. What is actually Stefano, what is Europe's first supposedly next format champions whatever tournament? Which one is that for y'all?
I'm not sure. Maybe Prague, but
It
not
is
sure.
Prague on April 25th. So they got to wait a little bit for their first regional.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Are you thinking are you thinking about I know that this is in the future, but we might not get to talk to you before then. Are you thinking about doing Prague?
Yeah. This one probably yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Definitely going to be very exciting if it's the first one in Europe on Champions, of course. That you wouldn't want to miss that. Um,
Yeah.
I wish we'd be on Champions in April. Can't imagine the points that even comes out in Pokemon Day. We'll see. We'll see. I think there's all kinds of rumors and copium flying about for Champions, but one day we'll get news. One day we'll get news again. Okay. So that's it for official signups and stuff. Victory Road also doing a grassroots this weekend, which is always awesome. And this time there are no conflicting tournaments for this Victory Road tournament. At least I don't think there are, right? So and everybody can get in there. Um, And yeah, otherwise, I mean, it's a victory road tournament. They're hosting like 20 of these in the year, which of course, is awesome and very exciting, but also means that there's not much more to say. So I'll keep us moving. All right, over to Auckland. Audie, you dropped a bunch of links for me to grab in chat because unfortunately we do not have official teams from Auckland yet. We have the winning team, which I can grab that one now. Go ahead.
We've compiled, I think, 5 or 6 of the top 8 teams, so we could showcase a little bit of them.
So as we were
Starting with
talking
the
about last week, this was kind of hosted at like a game store instead of your typical like regional type venue. And I think that as far as I heard it, we might have been like somewhat peddling the wrong narrative last week. Like it wasn't like but like basically it sounded like they weren't given a lot of help to put this event together is what I was hearing. And so like they kind of just had to put it like make it at a store instead of a venue or whatever. And that's why it's like a special event and everything. So I mean, it's still really cool that they got to at least do this tournament, but definitely not as glamorous as a regional or anything like that. And yeah, it was like that's why it was also on the Play with LATAM website instead of the actual RK9 website for pairings and stuff. And ended up being won by Yov, right? Or no, not Yov. Yov got second. Chloe.
No, you have one.
This is wrong. Okay.
The pairings do not update after top 4, so we don't. So the pairing that's why this is wrong. But yeah, Yoav did win.
Okay, I got myself confused. I was like, I thought it was Yov. Yov here using Grassy Seed Acrobatics Gyapdos with coaching, paired with Citrus Berry Tinglu, and then otherwise like some more standardish stuff surrounding it. But I mean, I think everybody's looking at the first Pokemon here in the picture, Zapdos, and just being like, wow, that's actually kind of cool. Is that something that's going to pick up or not?
What do you guys think?
No, not believers.
What's
I can't
base speed 100.
It is 100 speed, 100 base speed. Yeah, I think there was the Earthworm team that Pranav used based off of the GC team that Ryan Clem used, featuring like Covert Cloak Gyapdos, and that was also using coaching to a decent amount of strength. Yeah, and then this is a Terra Water Gyapdos with the Grassy Seed. I honestly don't totally hate it. The defensive Terra helps you handle searching strikes, which would probably be one of the biggest issues for this thing. I am a little bit skeptical as to like how bulky it ends up being and if it actually sticks around long enough to get off a number of coachings or acrobatics that is impressive. But it ultimately did go the distance here in Auckland, so I mean it's at least got some potency.
Now I just look at this team and I see 0 fairy resists on the team, which I don't know how this team beats like a Specs Fluttermane, like a well positioned Specs Fluttermane. And
it does. It's also very slow. Team.
Yeah. Just the entire team gets outsped by Fluttermane, and the entire team gets knocked out by Fluttermane, and it's just like a little. I mean, like Tinglu can tank attacks. Obviously, you can Terra, but it's not even Terra Poison. Like there isn't even a Terra. That's Fairy. Yeah, I think there isn't even a Terra that gives you a resistance to Fairy. It's just like I don't get it. I kind of don't get it.
Yeah.
And I watched. I was hanging out with Austin Lay, who got top cut Merida, as we'll talk about later, and he was watching a team tour that he's part of, and someone brought this, and they did just get swept by the Specs Fluttermane, and I'm sure y'all have had a game plan, but and maybe was a very a strong meta call, but given that this is a very small tournament, you probably know most of the players who are attending, and so you can maybe make more aggressive meta call about what those players tend to be using, but yeah, it's I can't look at a team with 0 fairy resists and 0 Terras that can resist fairy defensively, and nothing that can outspeed it, and think it has a stable matchup into that specifically.
Totally.
There's no control speed as well.
No speed control, you're right. Yeah. It literally just a couple of priority moves like Thunderclap and Glide, and then that just calling it a day. Not only that, it gets a little bit awkward with Tinglu and Rillaboom. This Tinglu isn't even running Earthquake. Not that it has more than one Earthquake partner besides Pokemon that can protect. But yeah, just a stomping tantrum. I don't know. Definitely not a high power ceiling on this Tinglu. I mean, Payback. I guess Payback's all right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm not 100% certain this one
So
will.
Nick Khan got second. Nick Khan does not have Twitter, so I have no idea what he ran. And then Chloe and Luke got third and fourth. And so Chloe did post her team.
All right, let's see. So Chloe using yes, I've actually been seeing this one around, and this is one that I was considering trying out myself on stream. I really like Sunny Day Flutter plus Entei. It just seems fun, and on top of that, it powers up your Raging Bolt as well. So like, it just seems like a cool idea to play around. What do you guys think, though?
I don't know. This team feels like it could struggle against Ursaluna.
Oh, says the Ursaluna player. Says the Ursaluna player. You feel like Ursaluna might be good into this. I believe it. I believe it. You don't have anything like any intimidate. You obviously Entei likes to control physical attackers with Sacred Fire burns, but Ursaluna's a little bit different with that regard. And outside of taunting the Trick Room, if Trick Room does go up, it looks like it'll probably be pretty scary for a team like this.
Yeah, I think it might depend on the Ursaluna team. Like a well-played Ursaluna, sure, but Taunt Fluttermane stops you from getting Trick Room up consistently. You have the Ogre Pawn that you can't OHKO and the Chenpao that you can't OHKO, so you can probably stall out Trick Room reasonably effectively. You can't EQ through a Dragonite, and the Terra Grass Fluttermane can probably take an Earthquake. And of course, you can't necessarily. Yeah, you have to play some mind games around the Fluttermane Terra. So it's got some tools.
Right.
It probably is a tricky matchup, but it does seem like they've teched out for it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Definitely just looks fun, and I'm not saying that because it's actually 5 of the same 6 as my Portland team. It's actually 6 of the same 6 if you count Ogerpon as just like a formless Pokemon, but like it's not Water Ogerpon. It's a very different thing. And also a lot of pretty much different sets on every single Pokemon. So, that said, let's see. So next up, you said top 4 on the other side was
Luke, and
We don't have
Luke
that one. Okay,
does
yeah.
have a Twitter, but I hasn't posted on Twitter in a long time, so I couldn't find that team.
Dim was your smart money pick, if I remember correctly, Audie. I should actually go take a quick look.
Dim was my smart money pick. By the way, Paul got this one right with Yoav. And of course, Carrie picked Stefano at Birmingham. So we called 2 of them.
I know, and I'll be honest, Max. I think I've picked you too many times for Latin America that I like try to like add some other ones in there to spice it up, So just know that you were still in our thoughts. Didn't I predicted you on your first win, right, Max?
Yeah, you picked me for Santiago.
Yes. It wasn't your first win, but the most recent win before this, I guess. Right. Anyways, Chongjun and Nick. So Nick, then Nick got second. You said right on it.
Nick got second.
Yeah. So
yep.
I did well, but not well enough apparently. All right, whatever. And this is just a variation of the whatever people like to call it, Crown Town, Spam stuff. Doesn't have the Drago, has a Landorus instead. And without more on the team, I probably don't have too much to say about it. So, but good to look at. Andy had. We got to look at the guys. A version of the Galar Moltres balance team, right?
The Dorian team. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have the Rillaboom instead of Ogerpon.
Oh, right. Hard to tell. Yeah. Also cool controllers, cool Joy-Cons.
Yeah, dude. I wonder if honestly, I wonder if it's from Alberto. I know Alberto does custom Joy-Cons. Okay, we got a little
Wait,
bit
actually,
more.
can you go back to that photo? I gotta see that
Yeah.
playmat. That's the top 8 playmat.
I think it was shown on the winning one.
Was it?
Was it not? Oh, I have it somewhere else.
Uh,
Here.
that
Because it
is
says Auckland, New
such
Zealand.
a. It does. Yeah, I mean that's not the normal like champion playmat. It's a very like different looking one.
It's cute.
Um,
I mean, I'm not looking at the
yeah,
whole thing here, but it looks cool.
I'm like, yeah, because special event, of course, they can't give out prize money, but I'm looking at the pricing that we do see. First off, it looks like is that 9 booster packs? Is that 9 booster packs for
I wasn't sure if I wanted to go in on this on Tub Takes, but since you brought it up, I was like, this is probably one of the sadder like prize spreads, unfortunately. Like just but it is just a special event, like it's just a smaller tournament, but it was like yeah, like didn't even win like a full box, just like a bunch of wrapped packs.
The real prize is the $3,500 to go to NAIC with your travel award. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it, and it's like, and the world's invite, yeah, but if you're capable of winning a regional, you always getting a world's invite most likely.
For sure.
But yeah, and I'm looking at the card, which looks like a graded card as well, which is interesting.
Yeah,
just like it's like an interesting, yeah, it's like just an interesting price spread, and also like a mat that is maybe play Pokemon official mat, but looks nothing like the other like regional mats that we've seen, regional champion mats we've seen.
Very different.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just wanted to point it out.
Somebody in the chat here, Patrap Soup, pointed out that there has not been a single event this season not won by Incineroar, which is really funny. Incin has won every single tournament so far. I guess. Yes, the Incin blush. And actually, speaking of it, Stefano, I wanted to ask you your thoughts on this version of the team that got top 8 at Auckland. You didn't have these exact 6. You had Landorus instead of Hearthflame, right?
Yeah.
And then some other differences
but
as well.
I wasn't sure about the 6th slot. I was debating myself between
Is Landorus the
Firepon
6th
and
slot in
Lando
your
as
opinion?
well. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Because before my regional, I asked an opinion to Marco Silva, and he was on Firepon, but I liked Lando more, so I wasn't sure. Then I just went with Lando because I was more comfortable with it in the mirror and against Dozo.
Yes.
But Firepon has different utility. Like with Landorus, you have 0 Pokemon that threatens Amoonguss. So
yes. I mean, substitute's at least cool. Sub can do something.
Yeah, but it's not always an option. So
Right. Yeah, it is ultimately just like the 8 or so Pokemon on these teams with Landorus and Fluttermane joining these 6 that balanced players are choosing betwing how they like to play the
probably every
team.
version works. Probably you just have to go with what you're most familiar with.
Exactly. And I think I was running the numbers on that, and if you technically count every variation, there's like 28 versions, I think, of I don't know, Adi, you're the math nerd guy. What is it called? Combination, like pick 8, choose 8, choose 6
permutations.
Yeah, I don't know. Math is different than stats, I guess, a little bit, right? But whatever. I don't know. Anyways,
in Birmingham, I think I played like 5 mirrors, and where every mirror was different. Like
exactly.
Yeah. I think there's like, yeah, exactly. I think, well, I was going through it as part of my like EUIC prep. Like, what do I actually have to prep for? And it's basically there's always an Incineroar and a Irrelevant. So there isn't actually even that many combinations. It's people have dropped Urshifu and Raging Bolt, but it's pretty rare. I think like Shohei, we'll talk about his team, I think dropped one of them. But really it's Incineroar, and then there are 6 Pokemon and you pick 4 of them.
I think that's a little more accurate.
Yeah. With these 4, of course, and then Landorus and what am I missing here?
Lando
is the other one.
Lando Flutter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that you just have to be ready for different versions of this. And unfortunately, like covering literally every single aspect of balance is probably impossible. But just covering, you have to be ready for the common positions you'll find yourself in, like the Underhill when they have fake out active plus or Shifu. That's what we call the Underhill around here. But anyways, jokes aside. And let's see. I think there's a couple more teams.
And so when they have a fake out next to their common fairy type, that's the Audi, right?
Yes. Oh, I actually cannot see this one. All right. That's
okay.
fine.
Neither can I. I wasn't sure if he posted it or not, but
Got it.
yeah.
No sweat there. So yeah. So that's, I think, unfortunately going to be it for Auckland. Because yeah, we just don't have more.
They got top 16 championship points, right?
That's a good question, actually. It was
Yep.
43 players.
43 players, so top 16 points.
What does that end up being?
Which
because specials are the same, right? So top 16 is one
gets 200 points, I believe.
Wait, am I saying? Oh, you're right. I was looking below. Yeah, 200. You're right. Yes, yes. All right. So then let's go ahead and jump over to Birmingham here. Stefano, we can start right off with your team. So without going into like a full like team report, kind of just tell us, how did you end up on these 6 Pokemon, and tell us a little bit about your experience running it.
Yeah, so I started with my first team of the first regulation F, which was like, I think, five of the same 6. There was a Fire Pon over Chien-Pao, and like Scarf, Urshifu, and leftover Surging Bolt. And I also played it in the first Victory Road when the Regulation F 2.0 came out.
Right.
And I won, but there were obvious problems. So I knew that I wanted to play Insane and Rillaboom because I'm a balanced player and I love them.
Yeah.
So I was still on the build, and I just tried to figure out the best version for that regional. And as I said, I took inspiration from Marco, who sent me his team after Toronto, and I made just some small changes to it, and the way I liked it more, and that's it basically.
Got you. And so
I just figured out that with Chien-Pao over like either Firepon or Landorus, the matchups that I was more scared about were almost fixed, so I liked it. And as I said, I only had to understand if I wanted to use Landorus or Firepon, and then make some small changes like the Icy Wind on Chien-Pao and safety on Incineroar, because I have only one Spore immunity and I was scared of Homunculus.
No, that's very real.
Also, I figured out that Booster Bolt is way stronger than the leftovers, in my opinion. So
yeah, the immediate power can be quite cool, and then
I picked up a lot of KOs, unexpected KOs, or I was able to make some aggressive calls with it,
and sometimes only one boost is all you need, where the leftovers one feels like you probably want like 2 at the very least, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. So then, I guess, getting really into the decisions here. I know that a lot of players are going towards high horsepower on Rillaboom, but you stuck with U-turn. Was that just kind of a comfort pick, or did you not think you needed the ground coverage because you had Landorus? What was the decision?
I would say both. I liked U-turn a lot, and with Landorus, I was like, nah, probably I don't need it. So I just played with U-turn.
So I think probably the coolest one is the Icy Wind Terra Ice Chien-Pao. That's a fun one that I definitely think people will start to copy and use. Not so much. I mean, I guess maybe Terra Ice Icicle Crash is pretty cool sometimes, but the Icy Wind, the part, is the really, really fun part. How was that in your run? Did it feel really, really strong, or did it actually not come up as often?
So To be honest, not really. Like I used
Ah, bummer.
in top four and in the finals, but they were kind of all. I think the only time I used it, maybe one time during day two, maybe around 10. But yeah, but I think that the third move on Shenpao is kind of just a filler. Like I tried the Ice Spear with Sacred Sword. Um, and yeah, it was fine. Maybe sometimes it's better, but I like that Icy Wind in some bad matchups helped a lot, like against Psyspam,
Hmm.
also against Dozo, and which were the teams I had to face in the top cut. So it showed there.
Yes, yes. That is
Also,
actually really
I
cool.
wanted to add that, in my opinion, Taunt Insin is very underrated. I've been gTaunt on Insin since the very beginning of the regulation F, and yeah, I don't know. It's like a niche move, but in my opinion, it's very strong.
Right. No, it's very it helps for a lot of different things. Whether you want to stop a Cresselia from clicking Trick Room or Lunar Blessing, or stopping an Amoongus. There's a lot of different ways that talk. Even stopping something from protecting, like a Raging Bolt, can always be helpful for your plans. Um, I also somebody so or I think that I didn't realize it when you said that like Icy Wind is quite good into Dondozo. I'm like, actually that makes a lot of sense because the speed on Dondozo can be so annoying. The fact that it outspeeds Landorus, but when Landorus can just kind of continuously click sub in front of it until it's safe, until it's time to finally start attacking it, it makes Landorus a much stronger Pokemon into Dondozo instead of getting one shot by Wave Crash or having to Terra or something like that. It's a lot more annoying. Um,
Yeah,
I wanted to
exactly.
ask though about the Ensign then. How do you choose between Flare Blitz and Knockoff?
I will say again, comfort pick plus damage on Amoongus. I think that in this format, Incineroar has some turns where he can just attack, and so I wanted a damaging move, basically.
Right, right. You wanted to do the more damage than just what Knockoff can do.
Yeah, yeah, but I
Technically,
think
coverage would still
knockoff
be
is
preferred.
fine. So
Right. All right, all right. Yeah. So and then just for I would say pick one of your matches. What would you say is like your most standout match in your run? The one that was the most memorable.
mm, well, for me, of course, it's the finals, but
Yeah, that's real.
um, besides that, I will say maybe against Eric Rios because it was a very cool best of three, in my opinion. Like
Hmm.
the first game, I think maybe he didn't realize that like his plan didn't work because the game lasted 3 turns.
Oh no.
But game two, I think there was a moment where I was so far behind and I got every call right, and it was also the win ending for the top cut. So I was very proud of that game.
Hmm. Totally, totally. Um, something silly I realized that we have in common is that both of us have beat Dondozo in the finals of a Regulation F tournament. I had to play against Chuppa in Portland finals using Dozo, and I can tell you that it's not fun. I don't like playing against Dondozo. That Pokemon's so
Yeah,
annoying.
and the pressure was high, so
Oh, of
I was very
course.
stressed.
Of course. Actually, let's use that to go ahead and move on here really quick to talking about Marcus's team because, yeah, I really think, as much as I hate to say it, I think that Marcus has put together one of the strongest looking Dondozo teams we've seen in a long time. And Marcus, a very experienced Dondozo player. We've covered a lot of Victory Road tournaments where he has made it to day two, always with Dozo, always with Dozo. So he knows this team better than anybody else, and really helped put together probably the best version for this specific tournament. I feel.
Yeah, I agree. Before the tournament, I was talking with my friends, and I was like, if someone figure out that Dondozo with like Dragonite Terra Normal Chase Band, I was also thinking about Chien-Pao, but if someone puts it together, he can win the tournament, and then I was facing it in the finals. So
Yeah.
I know
Is it?
it's not that incredible as a build, but I had this feeling that it was well positioned in the format, so it was
It's time
funny.
for 222 to come back. You know, get the Chen Pao in over Weezing.
I
Um,
hope it don't. It doesn't.
me too. Me too. Weezing actually very strong on these teams. Yeah, the ability to turn off the priority for or sorry, not the priority, the abilities. I mean, for all the different either fast Pokemon here like Fluttermane or Sash GU, or priority moves with Dragonite. There's just a lot of strong options here, and I think the main thing that was a really strong call is Oblivious. I think makes this a lot better into intimidate cycling teams with Incineroar, and Rocky Helmet so much better at like dealing with fake out plus surging strikes. You're actually just doing more damage than you're taking at that point. Um, so a lot of the choices here just maximized how annoying this team can be. Just so annoying. Actually, Helping Hand on Tots also I think popped off a number of times on stream. That went really hard.
Against me.
Now,
Yes.
now
Hobby.
he did post a thread that had some insights into his run. In particular, he said that he lost a lot of game ones, especially in day one, because he hadn't used this variant of the team until like the night before the tournament. And was really kind of driven by comfort. But yeah, he had been on a different. We've seen him get second place at a Victory Road Tour. I think we've seen him do really well in a couple other grassroots tournaments. So we know what Marcus has been working on, and it's not this. This is actually much more similar to the team that I think Quan used to get top 16 at
Right.
Toronto.
I believe so.
Which and I imagine that it was partially inspired by that, or the change, the idea of change was partially inspired by that, but yeah, it was cool to see him change. Now he also posted his run, or I guess there's a graphic that had his run, and I did notice he did not play a lot of Amoonguss, which is generally the thing that I think is one of the things that Didozo has a really hard time with. And was one loss in the tournament was to Eric Rios, although he did beat the same team later on with beating Maddie in top 4.
And beat Nils as
And
well.
also
Nils and Maddie, two very experienced players using Among Us, so not impossible.
Not impossible. And I'm curious how how the matchup to Nils went. I think the matchup against Maddie was on stream. I didn't watch it. But yeah, no, it's just like I think it was a really, really strong meta call. I also think that as soon as Amoonguss decide maybe we should put Paul and Puff back on the set, Dindozo has a lot harder time getting through it, right? As soon as you can start healing up your own Pokemon again. Dindozo with Intimidate and with Paul and Puff, it just feels like it never really gets enough momentum. And so, yeah, I think that people maybe have to start respecting Dindozo again. And as we're going to see, Amoonguss Ursaluna teams, often with Amoonguss, had a really, really big weekend. It was one of the losses that they had in Swiss, and they can pretty easily tech for this. So I wonder if people are going to start respecting Dozo, because I think that it is easy to tech for on a lot of the more common meta teams.
Yeah, I think ultimately it will probably start to trend. Well, it'll trend upward as people try out the team, but I think that that's just going to give it too much attention, and people will start to bring out their Dozo counters again. Which is why I think this you gotta give credit where credit's due. I think Marcus, what's it like? Attacked at the right time. What while the pan is hot, whatever that phrase is. I'm strike while the iron is hot, something like that. It was the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, not using unaware for Dozo mirrors. That's a good point there, Mont, too. I forgot to mention that one. This is actually, Adi, you were getting into the schedule weeds, and this is my favorite one coming up, is Henway. Henway here, this one is so funny to me. So I need you guys to find, we'll do a little bit of a treasure hunt. Tell me what Pokemon that that he did not fight in his run. I guess I'll make it very easy by saying until he played against Stefano. There's a single Pokemon he did not play literally until he played Stefano.
The Rillaboom?
Yeah,
Rillaboom, dude. The Side Spam team doesn't have to fight Rillaboom until top 4? What do you mean?
Okay. Let me tell you something, because I ran Side Spam at this at Merida as well, and at Toronto. Rillaboom is not the thing that Side Spam is scared of. Rillaboom is very, very manageable for Side Spam, because Rillaboom actually does very little outside of changing terrain. It doesn't actually hit anything. It does force you to like play a little more of a positioning game. It obviously resets terrain and allows the balanced player to use Thunderclap and Sucker Punch and Fake Out into you. But like, Rillaboom is not like the scary part of playing against the balanced team is not the Rillaboom. It's usually the Incineroar and the Double Dark, and if they have an AV Bolt, that's a lot harder as well. And they bring the Rillaboom, but like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I yes, it's fortunate to I don't know. I just like I don't even think that I don't even think the balance matchup is that bad for the team. I think
Well,
that
Adi, the data disagrees.
yeah.
This is a 0% win rate against Rillaboom for Henway, unfortunately.
0% win rate. So true. I just had to play the regional champion and no one else on Rillaboom. But yeah,
Right.
it's I don't know. I don't actually think that Rillaboom is the problem, and Rillaboom is part of the issue. And obviously, like, would I rather face Rillaboom, or would I rather have to face, like, I don't know, like I'm much more scared of, say, facing the carry team where I have to deal with Goldengo, Incineroar, Roaring Moon
Yeah, for sure.
with my Side Spam than I am, and he managed to beat that. Right, so that's kind of where my head is at. Or something like the Rain team that's in Top Cut, where they have a Wide Guard Pelipper and an Arcaludon that's super hard for Iron Crown to power through. Is way scarier. And so, yeah, I don't know. I dig the matchup spread. There's some good matchups there. Like, I think the matchup into Marco is excellent, for example. And that one definitely a favorable matchup to get in top 8. But there are some tough matchups there that he managed to beat as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As for the team, not a whole lot to say about it besides the scary face tech is kind of cool, kind of fun. But other than that, this is a team that's been around and probably will continue to be around, still showing itself to be quite strong. And then, yeah, probably not a whole lot to say about Maddie's as well. This is actually, I mean, like, a decent number of things different than the Nils EUIC team. A defensive Terra on the Flutter, not Scarf on the Ursh, and I don't think Nils was Terra Fire, but like whatever, like a bunch of minor things. So probably a team that the main thing about Ursaluna, Max, I'm sure as you are aware, and as we'll see in Merida, is that Ursaluna had a very good weekend, Gutspare specifically.
yeah. In Merida, we had like 3 in top 4, and there was like 5 in top 8.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And also in Birmingham, I saw a lot in the standings after day 1. They were like 7 in the top 20.
They got 3 in top 8
haven't
here
checked
as well. So
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
so much better.
it was like a good weekend for Ursaluna overall.
Very good weekend for the Bear. And so yeah, Maddie's team, not a whole lot to say about it, but Marco ended up working with Dill on this build, I believe. And it is very it's a good amount strange. I would say it's a little bit strange. I gotta applaud Marco for being able to play some teams that are not exactly cookie cutter. He can play teams of just all types. He can play very boring balanced ones. He can play some strange stuff. And he always just makes it look well. Before I ask you guys your thoughts, I'm going to give my take on it. I actually do not think this team is that good. And I think that Marco, I don't know, his game plans were so strange, and I feel like he was just making it, he was just outplaying through sheer skill and everything, like just how strong of a player he is, that I don't know if this team is going to work for everybody, but he was able to make it work. You know?
That's crazy, because you gave me this team with one mon different or earlier in the format and said, hey, you should consider using this.
And it's so much better, Audi, trust me. No. I think it was a little more different than that, but yes. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, this I don't know. It feels like it takes some slight inspirations from Regulation H with the Ensign Fari Torkoal stuff we were seeing there, but those are usually clear Amulet Ensign. Throat Spray Fari. But Torkoal still does have the helping hand here to be able to support Flutter. I think that's kind of the coolest thing with the Sun offense cores is that like Torkoal, very slow. If it's going to get OHKO'd by a Landorus or something or a Raging Bolt, it's nice that it can throw out a move on the way out and boost the power of a Specs Flutter main to do some really stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason that I'm
this
not... Go ahead.
Special attack, the Flutter main with the photosynthesis.
Which one was it actually? Do you guys remember? It was on stream, right? I do not remember from seeing it on stream. I'd have to go back and watch. But I've actually, what's funny is I've already played it twice on ladder and played against both. So I know the problem is I don't know if people are basing it off of when Marco played on stream. Yeah. Stefano, do you happen to know?
Nah, I have no idea.
Got you. No worries. Also I forgot about the error here.
Yeah.
The hard played mass. I was like, that doesn't look right. And so, yeah, I think that this team will pick up because Marco is a player with a lot of influence, and also this is a team that stands out among the other teams that are slightly more familiar. But I don't know if it will stick around. That's just my personal take. But if this goes on to win another tournament, you can clip this and be like, Alex, you were dumb. So, I mean, that's fine. Let's see. Going down, we'll go through the top 8 really quick and then pick out anything else interesting. But Marcus ended up using just more typical balance stuff with the Pain Split Flutter and the Life Orb Bolt. I think Justin Karras might have used a lot of the same choices, if not all the same choices, over in Toronto, which would make sense because I do believe Marcus and Justin work together sometimes.
Marcus shouted out Justin in his Twitter post, so
that
would make sense.
That would track. All right, then Edu here using Golden Go, trying to make Golden Go the honorary 9th member of the balance rotation, and I think that's not a bad one to be like the 9th at all. Like Amoongus would probably also try to be the 9th, though you don't see it as often, but like you could definitely get some other stuff involved. The 8 guys that we mentioned before are usually what it's going to be. But I think Golden Go very much fits what these teams are trying to do. Gives you good ways to deal with Amoongus. It gives you good ways to deal with opposing Flutter, especially with like Metal Coat Make It Rain. So still very much a Pokemon that fits on these teams. Was Edu using Hex, or am I wrong? I would guess no Hex, especially... You're probably mixing that up with the Screens team that uses Hex Golden Go, because this team doesn't even have like any status moves. It doesn't have Thunder Wave on the Flutter, no Wisp on the Ensign, or anything. So, probably thinking about the Screens one. All right, so Florian used, this is just the more common, P2, Ursaluna team at this point, with the Tornadus. There's just a lot of different versions of P2 Ensign, Ursaluna, and Amoongus. It feels like Urshifu is often there. Sometimes, I don't know. Well, when we get to Max's run, you'll see Max breaks the formula a little bit there. So I'm definitely excited to talk about that one. But this one, still a little bit more normal. Still a little bit more normal. So with that, then, that's it for teams in the top 8. I know that Zine used Shuckaberry Raging Bolt. That's kind of a funny tech, I gotta say. With Terra Steel, it's wild. It's weird.
This breaks so many rules. I mean, it's also like I mentioned that it's Incineroar, and then usually there's an Urshifu. This is one of the I think this is the only one. I think this is the only Incineroar team that doesn't have an Urshifu in like all of day 2. Which is an interesting thing to drop, but he's just not a fan of the Underhill. I guess you could say.
Nope.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a team that doesn't have a lot. Like fake out is so good when you have ways to punish protect in front of fake out, and this team really only has substitute on Landorus, whereas normally you have like either a Combine Raging Bolt or you have you saw Edu with Nasty Block Goldengo, and you have Urshifu, Sword Stance Ogre Pawn or Focus Energy Ogre Pawn, and then of course the Urshifu, it can also really abuse the fake out, and so Shohei choosing like it's this team seems like it has to play a lot more carefully positionally in front of people just playing conservatively and saying, I'm just going to protect in front of your fake out, right? And you don't really have a way to push your advantage in those situations nearly as much.
I would agree. Kind of funny to see the double grass Ogre Pawn. I thought it was a strange looking set. I actually, then I was just looking through some of my old results. I actually got, I used this once at Sacramento in like Reg E. But like otherwise we really don't see Woodhammer Glide that often, because usually, I mean, Sword Stance, Focus Energy, or Follow Me have like so much utility that you don't like need the extra grasping. But I think this makes Hearthflame a little bit more able to operate without Rillaboom, and I like that at least. Okay.
It's also wait, one more thing. It's double fire, double grass, and no water types, and so he just has double Terra Water.
True. You gotta make it up for not having the water type. Okay. Let's see. Aurelian ended up hopping on the screen stuff, but we saw that last week. Sanvi just running just boring balance stuff.
Most boring team in the format. It is interesting that and I think Stefano, were you on this too with the Ice Shard on Chen Pao? We saw that earlier in the stream. I forgot.
No, not on this team at least, but
no. Oh, you had Icy Wind, right?
Yeah, but I tried Ice Shard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I maybe it was in Australia where we saw Ice Shard on Chen Pao as well, but we're seeing a lot more of the Ice Shard Chen Pao on these teams over Sucker Punch, which is, I think I mentioned that a few weeks ago, but yeah, now it's really starting to take shape. And actually, can you check how many of the Chen Paos in day 2 had Ice Shard?
Oh, I mean, I can do the day 2 here, sure.
But it looks like
Sucker,
like a third.
Yeah, Sucker's still beating it out by a good margin. Dude, there's nobody running both. I wanted there to be one person, exactly one person running both Sucker and Shard, but no, they're not that crazy. It's often on the Rain team though that they're running Ice Shard, and that was actually the next team I wanted to jump into talking about. So, Stefano, I'm sure that you and your team building group were very aware that the Rain team was going to be making a big showing this weekend. It seems like Pato and Chichit were really looking into running this specific build. Do you think it's a strong one? Was it something that you were worried about going into the weekend, or something you were preparing for, I guess?
No, I didn't prepare for it except like for playing against it in the Global Challenge, Grand Challenge.
Okay.
But I think it's great. I guess it can work. I think that Pado had the Terra Bug Archaludon. I think it's cool because you resist all of Landorus moves, which is the way you usually handle it.
Right.
I can be wrong, but okay, yeah.
No, you got it.
I think that's
bug.
cool. But I don't know. I like it. I'm not sure it is like very strong, but I like it.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the only teams making Rain work at this point. It's like in terms of Pelipper at the very least. Rain Dance is a bit of a different thing, and the only team making Archaludon work. So
yeah, I wasn't too afraid of it, but I think the matchup is even. So
right.
I know that as long as I play better, I should win.
I think actually, if you want to see a crazy one for anybody here listening, go watch Sanvi versus I think Pato on stream. I believe they played, and there were so many times where I was like, okay, Sanvi lost, skip to the end of the game, and I see that Sanvi's up 1-0, and I'm like, wait, what? How did that happen? So I had to rewind, and I was like, no, that was not winnable. How did Sanvi bring that back? So yeah, I think that was a very excellently played set. While I'm mentioning really good stream sets, I think Eric Rios versus Lewis Markle on stream was like the peak balance versus P2 Bear stream set. It was such a slog from both players, like such a long set, but both players playing it so well, showing you the best possible options on both ends. A very good one for learning from. And
Yeah. Having run Rain a lot in this format a while ago. I really like Oliver's team. I like it. I like the obviously you see the same 6 Pokemon, but I do like the tech choices more than what Pado and Sitchin had. I think the Life Orb Pelipper is really strong. I think that you need the Pelipper to do something when you're running Rain. And I like that a lot more than the Rocky Helmet. I like the Terra Grass Urshifu. I thought that was something that was also really strong, just allowing you to have more options in front of a Moongus. That's just like the boogeyman for Rain a lot of the time, and he had a triple Terra Grass as well to be able to deal with that a little more effectively.
right.
And so, yeah, I think that I think that where Pado had the sort of weird fairy feather Flutter Mane with Moonblast, Taunt, and Dazzling Gleam, I feel like that set is maybe spreading yourself a little too thin. I'm not really like. Whereas Oliver having the booster energy, but then having the 3 attacks, I think fits a lot better on this sort of team. And did go X1 I think in Swiss. So had a really good showing in Swiss, and getting all the way to top. Sadly losing in top 16, but yeah, I think that I really like the way that Oliver has built the Rain team out.
Definitely. Let's see. So other standout teams from this tournament in general. This is actually kind of similar to the team we saw earlier from, I think it was from Chloe, with no Dragonite. Still, sunny day on this guy supporting Entei and Bolt. Kind of a cool one, definitely a little bit different. Also has that same Fairy Feather Taunt set that we were just talking about. I didn't expect that to be on the Sun and Rain teams, but sure. Let's see. Other teams that are notable from day 2 here at all? Do you guys
I
have any
think
that you remember seeing?
Is Ryan's team? Have you seen that before? That got top 30, it's got 17th. That is not a team that
Um,
I've seen before. At least these 6 Pokemon, unless it was like something like Toller's team from Knoxville.
no, it's not quite like that. No, it's no. This is technically a little bit different. I think the closest I can think of is Luca Cherabelli, top 8 at EUIC, had Hearthflame in this place, but Golden Go, a bit of a different Pokemon than that, and Mystical Fire on the Fluttermane. Very funny. I actually think that I wouldn't be surprised if this was the only Flutter using that. I swear I've been seeing that pick up, and not like I don't know. If you've played low ladder on Pokemon Showdown, then you've seen somebody on a Sun team run like Terra Fire, Specs, Mystical Fire, Flutter, and think that they're like the funniest guy. But no, like Mystical, they're using Mystical Fire as like as almost like Snarl. Nope, only person doing it. Only person doing it. And then you know what? I bet when I played it on ladder, maybe I played against Rayon. Maybe I feel like I've seen it like once or twice before, but it's a very cool tech.
I'm pretty sure there was like a Gujin Fire King Gambit Dragonite team in Day 2 that I was very scared of
Oh yes, the
going
Angels team
into Day
here.
2.
Angel.
Yeah, I think it was this one, which is
Yes.
cool.
Ooh, drum beating. We got drum beating, AV King, Gambit. All right, well then let me ask you this. Maybe for your team it's scary, but do you think King Gambit is strong? Do you think it's good or no?
I'm not very sure, but maybe.
Maybe this is Tub takes. You have to give your take. You could say that you think it's bad. 'Cause I think King Gambit is terrible. I don't even know how this thing won
I
regionals
didn't
last
really
time.
think about it that much, so I don't know. But probably no.
I get you. I get you. I mean, the fact that you're not thinking about it
But
much is saying enough. You know, it's
yeah,
like just not a
yeah,
Pokemon you think about in Regulation F.
yeah. I was scared of this build just because of the Chien-Pao Dragonite, and maybe you want to lead Incineroar against it, and there is a King Gambit, so
That's true. That's true. Honestly,
that's why.
half the time though, that's why I don't respect King Gambit. Is that you can just lead Incineroar into King Gambit and just be like, all right, I resist all of your attacks. Like, it's fine. I'm gonna Flare Blitz you for super effective. It's fine. Like,
Yeah, but yeah, I mean sometimes it's not that
it's not that
too
easy.
great
Not that
to
simple.
to
Yes.
take the +1 Cotton Cleave. So
Right.
uh,
Something else is
yeah, I
gonna take a
mean
real hurting. Real beating.
it's not that threatening, but I don't know. Maybe it's annoying. I'm not sure.
Right.
But I guess
Um
that if you lead like Incineroar and Urshifu, then you resist every move anyway.
Exactly. And like Chen Pao is not like that scared of a sucker punch. Ironhead will take it down to 1,
Yeah.
but whatever. And it can hit it super effectively. Icicle Crash versus Terra Flying. So um yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
Alex.
Salvi played against it, and he went for Terra Flying, and then fainted to like Ice Spear. So
Yeah.
Ice Shard, and not Ice Spear.
You said Ice Spear accidentally earlier, and I was like, does Chen Pao get Icicle Spear? Were you
No,
testing
no,
this?
I
I was like, wait. Loaded
I
dice,
say
Chen Pao?
always wrong. I don't know why.
No, you're good. Dude. You're totally,
Ice
totally
Shard.
good. Adi, what are you saying?
I've got some teams that you got to look at. I've been
Okay.
going through looking for the fun teams. Starting with you want to pull up how Primarina did at this tournament?
Oh my god, why? Why am I looking at how
Um,
Primarina did? Two Primarinas. They
I
both
know
made
Two
day
you're
two.
Primarinas.
wrong.
Oh, dude, Dan's team. I saw Dan. How did Dan start? Dan, because I saw after day 1, I was like, wait a minute, this Dan guy is crazy. Yeah. Oh, only 6'2"? Wait, I thought it was. I thought
He
it was
started
stronger
out
than that.
5-0.
Did start
Started
5-0,
out 5-0.
Well, a
Um,
win against Verdi.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wait, no, they lost to Tarn,
Oh no,
right?
then Matty Morgan though, round 1.
Did beat Maddie round 1. Maddie came back from losing to this craziness the first round. But yeah, this team, oh my god. Aquajet, Free Marina, Earthquake, Iron Boulder, Earthquake, Garchomp. Like, this person's just playing a different game than us. They actually, the only Regulation F Pokemon they're using is Iron Boulder. That's it. That is it. They just said, actually, I figured my stuff out in Regulation H, but I'll try out this thing. Um, that's hilarious. I wouldn't be
Is that a,
surprised
like
if
a speed or attack on Iron Boulder? I don't know what they get.
I think I would guess speed for just earthquaking your weakness policy. Um, I'm actually not sure that this is better than like just running the Annihilate, the Scarf Annihilate that people would do on teams like this in Regulation H, and just going full Regulation H mode. Boulder's funny though. What's the next? So Free Arena actually doing pretty all right, Audi. It's doing better than it did in Reg H.
The second one is a
Like,
Bolt Balance team, but with Primarina Calm Mind, I'm pretty sure.
Wait, let me go back. Let me
yep.
go back. You're right.
Yeah,
It
exactly
is.
right.
It is. And then they got a Dark Urge, I guess. It's just.
Okay.
What's the other stuff, Audi? Go ahead, hit me with it.
Okay. Alex, how do you feel about Orthworm in this format?
Orthworm.
Do you think it needs a Tinglu? Do you think it or Landorus or whatever product ran?
Yeah. So I did see this one. I think it seems okay. There's definitely some issues, and because of course I'm interested in Northworm. I was watching Adam's run, and here we go. Adam started out very good and did not do well after that point, unfortunately. 7 in a row, 5 in a row, up and down. But yeah, I think that this does do a lot of cool things. Like, I think the most broken thing you can do with Orthworm, I think we saw it on the Team Pranav was using as well, is the multi-scale Dragonite is the most broken thing that you can do with Orthworm. Like, just putting the Shed Tail on multi-scale has really crazy implications. So yeah. But unfortunately not the hottest run. Where were we? What's
all right.
next?
Next up, I gotta pull up Brian Hanley's team, which is something I've really never seen before.
Brian Hanley. Oh my god.
Go.
Oh wait, did I don't remember if I saw this one or not. But yeah, Gastrodon. This is like I guess the Gapdos team in Australia also had a speed ceiling of just Ogerpon, and I just don't know how people do this. I don't know how people run.
They've got
such
T-Wave
a low.
and Tailwind.
Well, that's not Tailwind. That's Gapdos Tailwind, Audie. That's not Tornadus Tailwind. That's not Whimsicott Tailwind. I might not get that Tailwind up if an Icicle Crash is coming my way. The good news is if I Terra Steel, I'm not flinching. Covert Cloak, let's go. But yeah, and then Thunderwave, sure. This archetype is called
like,
Grilled Chicken. Why?
it's interesting, right? Because it's got T-Wave and Tailwind for speed control. It's got Yawn and Snarl to control the game and Follow Me. So it's got the
And
support moves.
Hex.
Really, what it's missing is like damage, right? Yeah. So you got Hex to I guess, I don't know, to kill things that have been T-Waved. I guess maybe you need the damage boost or something. But like maybe T-Wave Hex gets there into Fluttermane when T-Wave Shadow Ball doesn't. You got Sacred Fire Burns. You got Yawn. But yeah, I think like it is. Like, I do see the vision here. I do see how the pieces come together. It doesn't seem like you have any like egregious type weaknesses. You got pretty good defensive synergy across all your Pokemon. It just feels like you're using underpowered Pokemon across every single slot. But I get where he's coming from. I get how the pieces fit together.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like Raging Bolt, and if it gets up a Calm Mind, you're gonna have to hit. You can double target it for 4 turns, and it's still gonna be alive, dude. Like it's tough out here.
You can Spirit Break it. It doesn't get anywhere. You Light Screen, you Snarl it, you Spirit Break it. You can Ivy Cudgel it. You can Yawn it. Like, you got so many. Yeah, it's fine.
I gotta say, before we move on to talking about Merida, Aurelian, who used the screens team, honestly played it so well against Edu and got kind of like crit out, unfortunately, which is how it goes against screens. You're always playing until you get crit out. But Aurelian was so aggressive, like literally, like clicking Spirit Break every single turn one, like into like Fake Out plus Golden Go. Fake, you could just die to Make It Rain, but they're never gonna click Make It Rain because you could Light Screen, and so they want a nasty plot. But then Aurelian was always playing that one step ahead and getting off a Spirit Break and delaying the Light Screen, getting off some damage, dropping the special attack. Like, it was just such a really cool, aggressive version of playing this, like a play style of the screens. And of course, Aurelian, a very good player with screens, so it makes sense. But it was just so, I don't know, a lot of good master classes of different archetypes on the stream this weekend. So
yeah, Aurelian found it, like Aurelian, I feel like always finds a way to take the best Grimmsnarl team and use it really well, and they did it again here. So they're just really good at using that type of team. All right, next up, check out Tyler Furnell.
All right, Tyler Furnell. Oh my god, what the heck, dude? Leftover Sandvale. No, Zoomlin's Magma Storm. Oh my god, no. Let's see. Yeah, body press without like Iron Defense or anything. We just want the fighting coverage, man. Why not? Yeah, Focus Sash, Mortal Spin. It's like, and then Hex on the Sinistra, of course. It's like Toxic Stall. It's actually just Toxic Stall. You just like set up Mortal Spin and then sub protect every other turn with your Garchomp, man. Okay.
And Magma Storm is chip damage, and Sandstorm is chip damage. Like, you really are just chipping away at your opponents every single turn with 4 different things.
That's so funny. And wait, oh man, this team is actually 5 sand immunities in the Sinistra, huh? We're not taking damage from our own sand. Put goggles on that Sinistra. Come on. So we can avoid this.
It's okay. Last but not least, this one did make day 2 and then crashed out, is Mustafa Hussein.
Here we go. Metagross. When is Metagross' time coming back? Actually, I know when it is. It's when the Mega comes back.
I mean, the Metagross, we've seen Metagross occasionally in this format. It's not like the worst Pokemon in the world. We got a Walking Wake with no weather. Just got a booster energy, just for the typing.
That is wild.
Everyone needs an Urshifu resist, We need something to resist Surging Strikes. No priority on Chen Pao.
Yeah.
Yeah. Citrus Berry Blood Moon, as one does. Encore on the Hearthflame, just for shits and giggles. Why not?
I feel like we've seen a couple of strange citrus berries this weekend, and we're going to continue to see strange citrus berries this weekend as we go over to Merida. So let's actually hop over there. Oh, I forgot I did grab your winning tweet. I probably should have pulled this up earlier, but whatever. We talked about it. Okay, cool. over here in Merida. Max, let's like I said before, let's not dive into a full team report, but tell us how you ended up on this team and a little bit about your run.
Well, basically, this is just my Reg H team with Overpon and Tornadoes. That's it. Um, uh, back in 2024, I was running Ursaluna and Greselia just for practice for EUIC. I was not playing the tournament, but I still wanted to play the format. So after the success I had with Ursaluna in Reg H and Reg I decided to use it again. But at the beginning, I was sure that I wanted to use Tornadoes and Overport. That was like what I wanted to use, and the rest just was like, yeah, I can just put these 2 months in my Reg H team and call it a day.
Just sticking to the comfort. I respect it. I respect it. Um, yeah, it definitely is cool that this blends some of the ideas of other teams together. Golden Go being a very good Pokemon right now, and just kind of not using Urshifu at all, instead sticking with the Ogerpon Wellspring. In my opinion, the way that it looked to me is you kind of took the typical Urshifu Amoonguss and you smushed them into Ogerpon, like made it one Pokemon, which let you get the Golden Go on the team. But I don't know if that's exactly how you came to building it this way.
Actually, I had a Mongoose at the beginning, um, but my size span matchup was terrible. And also, I don't like Among Us in this type of teams because if, let's say, I have Among Us instead of Ogrebone, my fast mode gets weaker. Um,
Right.
and also, I feel like it's sometimes way too passive. Porygon 2, Among Us, and Incineroar. So, yeah, that's why I decided to change my redirection. That's what I was looking for in that slot. And Ogerpon is just like water type, my redirection, and a fast mode at the same time. It's like the whole thing in just one.
What one Pokemon from your team would you say was like the MVP during your run? Like did the most work, the most impressive?
It's Ursaluna.
That's
No
fair.
questions. Yeah,
No, that's typically
no,
what these
no
teams are
doubt.
going to be doing. But and Gutsbear had a very good weekend, so it seems like that was the commonality is that if you were using Guts Ursaluna this weekend, it was hitting the meta at the right time.
Yeah, I think I
Uh,
only bench Ursaluna on one round, and I think I brought it on every other game. I think it was on my round 3. But on all of my other best of 3s, I brought it. I think every single game.
and which match would you say was like your most notable one, like the most memorable?
Uh, I think the whole top cut, um, because it was just like so easy to sweep
Oh wow! All right, end the quote
my
there. End the
opponents.
quote there. Adi, the quote for the thumbnail is my whole top cut was so easy. That's actually it. Sorry, Max. Continue,
The
please.
thing is that against Julio and Kenneth, I played both of them in rounds, and as you can see, it's basically the same core. So the my Ursaluna was slower than both of them, so I had a lot of
Okay,
advantage. And versus Victor, he just didn't have intimidate, he didn't have control speed, so it was like my whole top code was like really good matchups.
that is exactly what you want to see. You want to be just like making it to the top, and then that's where your meta call whatever pays off. You actually played a lot of other bears. You actually played a number of rematches too. You had to play Julio and Kenneth twice. It looks like.
Yeah, that's why on top code it was like way easier because we already knew my Barcelona was slower. So in rounds, the first game was really awkward because we didn't manage to risk it. But on both with Kenneth and Julio, we realized and came to that mine was slower, and basically that's what caused Julio and Kenneth the second game. So that's why on top the plan was just set up late trigger and win the game.
So I think you were okay. No, I think I get it now. So then, okay. You also played against Audie. Was that the easiest match of the day or the hardest? Say it's you pick your answer
It really
carefully.
might have been.
No.
It wasn't the easiest, but I think I just got every single turn right.
Tough,
Yep.
tough.
Yeah. No, game 2, after going up a game, he read my turn 1, read my my Crown to Terra Water and wood hammered it, and the game just ended. It was a very quick set.
That's no, Adi, you were supposed to not Terra, because then you would resist Woodhammer if you didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
like, no, legit, like
No, I'm
it's
kidding,
one of
I'm
those
kidding,
reads
I'm
that you get to make if you're up a game, and it was a really good read. But yeah, it's game 1 was a little closer, but he still beat me pretty comfortably.
That's brutal. Yep. I actually, so yeah, Max, I'm very curious to see if your team will pick up, because it feels like it's adding more and more teams to the Ursaluna rotation. We were looking at it earlier, and I think for the most part, like the team like Maddie is the standard, and then you're always going to see the torn ones like Florian has here as well. Over in Toronto, we had the Cresselia one with Aaron Brock, which fell off quite a significant amount this weekend. Not a lot of Crest Bear. And then lastly, the team that Eric Stewart used here. Funnily enough, originally I saw it from Matty Morgan, so I was still calling it the Matty Morgan Bear team. And now there's a new Matty Morgan Bear team, so it gets confusing. But yours
To be honest,
different than
I
all the
don't
ones
think so.
mentioned. So. Go ahead, Max. Sorry.
Because of mostly because of the EPs. I always run weird EPs. Actually,
EVs?
Michael
Yeah.
MDB yesterday, he recreated the team, and he was not even close to
Yes.
any of the spreads. So the spreads made a lot of difference, especially in the mirrors. For example,
Yep.
well, again, my Ursaluna was slower than Kenneth's and Julio, but also was faster than my round 10. So it's like it can get really awkward in the mirror. First,
All right, guys. If you
realize
want to
who
figure
Ursaluna
out,
is slower, and then but also I also have tailwind, so it's like you have to be careful with the speed that you give to your Ursaluna, because you want it to be
yes.
fast in tailwind, but also slower in trick room. So it will
Yeah.
give you an advantage in some matchups, but also in my round.
Oh, sorry, cut out. Are you still there?
Because his Ursaluna was
Which round was
slower,
that?
and also his point was slower, and his Tornadoes was faster than mine. So I think the game plan that he should have followed was the same that I did with Kenneth. Yeah, I think I would have lost in finals against David.
So if you guys want to figure out what Max's Ursaluna spread is, you just got to talk to all of his opponents and triangulate it. He was slower than this one, faster than that one, and then we'll get to the bottom of it. I'm kidding.
And I'll give you one more detail. Sorry, Max. Is that one of the things that decided our game 1 was that the Porygon 2 is slower than the Ursaluna, which surprised me and got around my redirection.
Yeah.
And so that caught me off guard. But that is another little insight into speed stats.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a important
my
thing
interactions with.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that I have like a fun interaction with Porygon 2, Ursaluna, and Incineroar. It's very similar to what I did. Well, it's not the same, but in Drake H I had Incineroar at 88, Ursaluna at 86, and Porygon 2 at 87. So I was able to know, for example, if other Ursalunas or other like Farigiraf were slower or faster than mine with just one mon. And in this one for this team, I did something similar, but a little bit different. So yeah, the speed interactions were very important in some matchups.
Yeah, I do something similar where I make all of my Pokemon the same speed stat if I can, the exact same speed stat. So like Porygon 2 at 80, Incin at 80, and Ursaluna at 80. That way, if something's faster than them, I know they're faster. And if they're slower, then I know they're slower. And that way, sometimes if I want my Ensign to attack before my Ursaluna, I just flip a coin and hope that it works out. And if it doesn't work out, well, that's not my fault. Couldn't have been helped. Couldn't have been prevented. No. Jokes aside, I want to talk about the second place team. I want to talk about the second place team.
Wait. So before we
yes.
go to the rest of the teams, I kind of want to talk about kind of my experience in Merida, not so much about the team itself, although you can
let's
pull
do
up
it.
my tournament run as well. But yeah, I got 30th place. So this is my second time going to a special to an event in Mexico. I had gone to the Cancun special event back in 2019. By the way, shout outs to Justin Knox for the team. He's the one who originally built it. I made some small changes. I ran a slightly different variant of this team in Toronto. But you've probably seen this team around, like the Landorus slot is kind of the flex slot. You've seen Fluttermane in the slot or whatever. I think Dim ran the Landorus Incarnate, different slots there. The team isn't very interesting. The fun part is my experience, which was okay, a few things. First is that the tournament itself had about 250 players total, which as compared to 750 in Toronto. Like you saw, I got top 32 going 6-4. When I went 8-4 in Toronto, I got top 128. Yes. I actually got double the points that I did at Toronto coming here to Merida, despite having a worse finish, which is just like one of those things that is a weird quirk. It's a very silly part of the circuit. And it is part of why I went, is that the smaller number of players does mean that a similar result does get you more points. And so I was really surprised that so few Americans came to this tournament. I feel like, especially looking at TCG, where there were 2,200 masters in Toronto and 1,600 masters at Merida. So it is one of those things where TCG players have sort of figured out that they should be invading Mexico, because the championship point payouts are the same. The prize money is the same. And so it like there is like this weird gap there where TCG players have decided there's a ton of American TCG players there. And not as many VGC players. It was really fun. It's a beautiful city. It's in the Yucatan Peninsula near Cancun. And so I got to go to Uxmal, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site with the Mayan pyramids, and got to explore that, which is super cool. There are some really beautiful cenotes that are these like underground lake cavern type things that we get to swim in, which is absolutely beautiful. Me and Austin Lay, who also top cut this regional, went on a tour together on Monday. That was a lot of fun. As for the tournament itself, so in round 2, in the middle of round 2, the entire venue loses connection. I kid you not. It was pretty crazy. That was something that was shocking. We've had that occasionally. We had that at NAIC at one point, but not something that you necessarily expect to see. The other thing that was new to me is that once I made day 2, they said, sit down. We need to check every single team. This is not something they do in North America or Europe. I'm kind of doing this because most of our viewers are from North America and Europe and maybe are not as familiar with what this experience is like. So they actually sit you down and they say, don't leave the play area. We need to check every single team before anyone can leave if you make day 2. And so we literally I was one of the first ones done with my win-in match. So I was maybe there for like an hour and a half, and apparently it was even worse in Monterrey. So you just have to sit there and wait for so long. Inge, who was there, pointed out, everyone immediately raises their hand in the middle of round 2. It was really funny. But yeah, they hack check every single player before day 2, which stalls the tournament and makes it so you can't really leave, which is a little unfortunate. I don't know. Team check, not quite hack check. Don't know why they do that. But that was frustrating. And then the other thing that was a little frustrating for me is that they so I went 6-4. I played I in day 1 I started at 5-0. Max kicked my butt. I lost a side spam mirror, which was my fault. I made a pretty big I brought the wrong Pokemon in game 3 and lost because of that. But in day 2 I played Josh Denk, and in game 3 it was a very close set, and he got a Flabless Burn on my Landorus, which was pretty game deciding in game 3. And then in round 10 I played Steven Stewart, and I got crit by a Shadow Ball in game 2, And I was pretty tilted, and I played game 3 really poorly. I think I could have played that a lot better, but I had the resistance to get top 16, so I was really upset after the tournament, and I hope I wasn't. I talked to a few people afterwards. I hope I didn't come off the wrong way, but I was definitely in a bad mood. In hindsight, this is such a volatile format. There's so many things that can go wrong between random critical hits from Ivy Cudgel, between Bleakwind Storm misses, between all the mind games with Thunderclap. There's Heatwave misses, like all that stuff can Sandseer Storm. There's just so much stuff that can go on in this format. That the fact that I didn't get unlucky in day 1, it was kind of bound to happen at some point, and so I don't feel as bad anymore. Managed to get top 32 at the tournament, and had a really good time. It's a beautiful city. It was the perfect time to go because it was like 80 degrees and sunny for the entire time we were there. And in the meantime, my friends here in Washington, D.C. were dealing with the biggest snowstorm they've had in like a decade. And so it was really the perfect time to leave town and get some sunshine and enjoy Mexico. So I had a great time. I got to get dinner with Max and with Renzo and Kenneth and a few of the other LATAM players who after day 1, and it was such a delight. They're all so nice and so welcoming, and so I had an absolute blast in Merida. I'm would definitely recommend, especially if there's events in January. It's like the perfect time to go down to Mexico.
What about
if you are
January
living in North
Toronto?
America.
That's what Jimmy's asking about, dude. Was the weather better there or Toronto?
I think people complain about the weather in Toronto too much, but I also have lived in Toronto and dealt with the Toronto winter. That was like a pretty nice weekend in Toronto, all things considered. I know the snow getting in there was pretty bad, but like the Saturday and Sunday were pretty good by Toronto standards, honestly.
And of course, Stefano, how was the weather in Birmingham? The perfect middle ground. It was probably fine. And I'm imagining it was fine. All right. Yeah, no, I definitely think it would be a lot of fun to go down to Mexico to play at some point. When things line up well for me, it just seems like it'd be a lot of fun. It was raining in Birmingham. I mean, it's the UK, right? Isn't it always raining there?
Yeah,
always raining here in Seattle.
I know you. It's one thing to win a regional in Merida, but can you do it in a rainy day in Birmingham? Is the real question.
Dude, it's probably gonna rain while during the Seattle regionals as well. That's just how it goes here. So Adi, what do you do when the booster energy is taken up by your gouging fire, but you still want to run bulky flutter? You still want to run bulky support flutter. What do you do? What's left to you? I mean, we saw fairy feather on some teams earlier, but that's not bulky enough for me. I want citrus berry, and honestly, I think they were cooking with this. I think I kind of rock with it. It's goofy. They have full support Gouger as well. No protect, instead running Snarl for the double damage reduction. And yeah, just some otherwise like pretty weird different sets. But the Citrus Flutter definitely stands out the most to me. I guess Max, do you have any more thoughts on this one, seeing as you were playing against this in the finals? Is Max there? Max, hello.
So I can talk a little bit about it. I didn't play Victor, but I talked to Billy, who lost to Victor in top 8. And his basically what he told me was this guy plays like a crazy person. He like played really, really aggressively, made some really aggressive reads, and was able to win that way. And so this is a really weird team. It's very unorthodox, and I think maybe I don't know. It's got no protect on the gouging fire, which is super interesting. Or protect / burning bulwark. Instead opting for Snarl, very good into a field that had quite a bit of side spam into it. You see no protect on the Flutter main, and you see Assault Vest Dragonite, and so this team really does not have the positioning that you would expect a team like this to have. And got to, and I think it encourages you and forces you to play really aggressively. And so that's one of those things where Victor knew his team really well and knew what reads he was able to make and when to make them, and really utilized that to a lot of success. I didn't get to watch finals. I left after semis to get lunch. But if Max is here, I am curious what his experience was with this team.
Yeah,
Well, as I mentioned before, he doesn't have once the flutter mean is gone, there is no speed control. Also,
yeah,
I feel he doesn't have anything to slow down the opponent because he doesn't have fake out, he doesn't have intimidate, he doesn't have mungus. So I feel like it's a little bit weird, and I understand how he reached the finals because the team is a little bit weird. But also uh, against something like what I used, it was like really weak because
right.
once the Ursaluna was in Tailwind or Trickroom, basically he didn't have anything. Also, he doesn't have like any resistance to Ursaluna. Um, I
Yeah,
guess
I was
just
actually
the floater
curious.
main, but once the Istera grass, it just goes down versus Passat. So
Did manage to beat David. I was curious because, like, yeah, it looks like lost. Oh, lost to David the first time. It's actually David twice.
Mhm.
Lost to David on the first run, but I guess downloaded the game plan and figured out what to do the second time. But unfortunately, maybe your version was just a little bit too different.
yeah,
To,
because
to
David's version, the Ursaluna was slower. I don't think that Barcelona was played in Tailwind, to be honest. If
yes,
it was really slow. So that's why. I don't know if you guys watch the finals. But I just led with Polygon 2 and Incineroar, just get as much damage as possible and win the game with Ursaluna in Tailwind. Um,
yep. No, it's really cool.
and I think David he didn't have that option because once I think he lost game 3 after the Polygon 2 was gone because he had Mungus and Ursaluna in the back, so it was not outspeeding anything after the Polygon 2 was gone.
Um, I do think it's really cool seeing a bit of Regulation H bleed through in this format. I don't think we were seeing Tailwind or Saluna really as much of a consideration in the first run through of Regulation F, but at least I don't think so. But yeah, Tailwind or Saluna. I didn't think it would be good here, but it's doing good. Um,
Yeah, that I think that's David, the in GVGC, I think that's David. And he says the Ursaluna was Adamant 0F, so I think that's 70 at
yes.
level 50, I think. So yeah, that makes sense. That's why he didn't play it in.
Um, let's see other teams that are standout. So we talked about it being a very good weekend for Ursaluna, and this is just kind of the template for a lot of Ursaluna teams. They will probably just look exactly like these ones that David and Kenneth were using. Um, Billy sticking with the
Oh,
POW version of the Rock Dog stuff. Go ahead. Sorry.
and let me tell Billy's story real quick. So,
Yeah.
because Billy after Toronto, he'd actually beaten me in Toronto in the very last round. He DM'd me saying, "Hey, like I wasn't gonna go to Merida, but I was inspired by Carey's team. And I think I almost said that he was gonna use Carey's team on Top Takes last week. I stopped
Right.
myself from saying it, but yeah, he was actually planning on using Carey's team. And he was going back and forth and testing it and testing it and testing it. And I guess like in his sleep deprived state, he said he locked in the wrong team. And so he locked in the same team as Toronto, but he was not intending to use this. And
I thought he just went back. I
um,
thought he just went back on it.
no, no, he absolutely expected to use that. And then his first loss was to P2 Ursa, and he was like so mad at himself because he was like, man, Carey's team is such a good matchup into that team. I would have beaten Kenneth if I had Carey's team. But I had he had the team that he was very comfortable with. Of course, did very well with it. So no shame there. Although I'm wondering if he top 8 very very good, but he was like, man, I really hope that I can dodge Kenneth in top cut. And I think he would have ran into to David, who had I think almost the exact same team in top 4. So I don't know if he would have gotten much further, even if he had managed to beat Victor.
Right.
But yeah, he accidentally locked in the wrong team.
No.
Was had,
But
had a
still did
really
good.
really strong run over the course of the tournament, and yeah, really only losing to twice in the entire run. I don't know. He's really good at Pokemon, and
Yeah.
did really well.
100%. Um, in terms of other standout teams in the in day 2 here, because I'm looking through the rest of it, and we talked about the Sun Bear team that has been sticking around, is not going anywhere just yet. Commander using just standard balance type guys here with Life Orb Bolt. And then this one has Okie Dokie. So Okie Dokie, pretty fun. Honestly, otherwise, somewhat similar to the other Ursa Luna teams, has a lot of the same things, but combining Urshifu Amoonguss once again to build a Wellspring, freeing up a spot for Okie Dokie this time around, which is kind of a funny pick. Not running Gunk Shot though. Oh, dude, Poison Jab is so weak. It's so weak.
Right. Yeah, Dogi already has a damage problem, and it's it kind of sucks that you don't get to use the big damage move either. But I was talking to Austin Lay, who got top 16, who I believe this is his first top cut, so congrats to him. And he was like, yeah, Okie Dokie is my worst enemy. I hate facing that. I always lose to it. I think that the Dorian team that Austin was using does struggle a little bit, and I know they work together on that team. Does struggle a little bit into Okie Dokie, so it did apparently put in work in that top 16 matchup for Joshua.
And then I'm looking through. I mean, there's a Corviknight, but I'm not seeing any other crazy teams. Honestly, I don't think there's anything else too wild out there.
Smaller day 2. But
Right.
there was some interesting stuff in day 2 that maybe didn't do nearly as well. There was a Mousehold that made day 2 on a hard trick room team, but there was a Mousehold. I guess honestly, there wasn't the teams that did well weren't that crazy. I do think Egrim's team is pretty cool that he top cut with the Blood Moon.
So I think then here to end things off, because I think we've kind of covered through all the tournaments. I wanted to try out a different little quiz type game than Calca's Right. This one's going to be based off of stats. I'm just using Stat Crusher for this one, and I'm going to quiz you guys on just a couple of random funny statistics to see if you guys. These are not indicators of being a strong VGC player or anything like that, but it's just kind of funny. Before we get into that, though, I think I see a question here in chat. How different is Max's team from Eric Rios's in Birmingham? Does it play very differently? I think quite differently, but Max, I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, it's like a completely two different teams.
I think so.
Because Eric is forced to play Trick Room most of the time, so basically every time. One of the reasons that I also use D6 is that I can use basically any combination of 4 Pokemon. In practice, I have benched Tornadoes and Porygon 2. I can just use any combination that it will allow me to have a strong game plan. Instead, Eric, I feel like the fast mode is not as clear as my team. I guess
right.
Porygon, Ogerpon, Fluttermane, Incineroar, and Amoonguss is like what he uses in his fast mode, but it's a little bit weird compared to what I use.
No, totally. The fact that Porygon 2, I think Porygon 2 probably comes to almost every game on Eric's teams. Not even like always to set Trick Room, but I don't know. I'm kind of struggling to see what the vision game plan wise would be otherwise. All right, so
I've got one more fun fact about Merida before we skip over to your game. So this was a 34 player day 2. So 2 people in day 2 missed out on top 64. And both of them were on Psy Spam. There were 4 Iron Crown in day 2. There were 4 Iron Crown in day 2, and 3 of us finished 6-4 in Merida. Which is you're looking at the wrong tournament. So Iron Crown had a pretty strong day 1, and then tough show. And Kevin is actually the player who beat me in Swiss in day 1 in a pretty close set. So tough showing for Psy Spam in day 2.
Also, really quick, Bennett had an insane battle. He had like at some point almost 80% resistance for the last round, uh, and he lost to me and David, the other guy in top 4.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and
We were thinking Kenneth might have the highest resistance ever. I think it dropped off a little bit, but like, yeah, it was pretty insane.
I think in
In the
Toronto.
last round, round 10, we were checking and he had 79%, and three of his opponents were playing. The round was still playing, so he could have like about 80%.
I thought I
Yeah,
saw something
three
absurdly high recently,
his
but I can't
opponents lost
remember.
the last round.
Got you. Kenneth. Yeah, 78 is crazy.
Like
All
5
right.
of his opponents in rounds made top cup. Like it was insane.
Oh my gosh, yeah. 5-3, 8-3, 9-3, 5-3, 8-3, 5-3, 10, 2, 13, 1. Jesus. No breaks for Kenneth. No breaks. No easy rounds. Okay. So I don't actually have a name for this bit or segment or anything like this. Oh wait, before we go though, one more question, Adi, for you is why did you play Lando T? Somebody said, I don't know. What? Yeah.
So my philosophy for team building is I try to find the best thing that no one's using, that no one's ready for. And I had been looking through a lot of results and stuff in December. And Landorus Therian was doing really well. We saw it top cut one of the Victory Roads tour with that was Amin that got 9th place. We saw it kind of. I was looking at Japanese results and I saw it multiple like top Japanese players using different Landorus Therian sets. So me and my friend Arsal had been testing out Scarf Landorus, we're testing out Assault Vest Landorus, testing out all these different Landorus sets. And then Justin Knox had tweeted out saying, "Hey, I got the sauce. If anyone wants it, hit me up." And he's a friend of mine, so I hit him up. I said, "What you got?" He showed me the Size Spam Landorus team, and I was like, "Hey, this is actually like this is something that I could work with. I've been using a lot of Torn Landorus, and I think it's pretty strong right now." I tried it out, and I was still kind of going back and forth before Toronto about what version, what exact team I wanted to use, but I ended up going with that because it just felt like it was the best team that I had at the moment. And I just said, okay, at some point you got to commit, pick a team with pieces that you're comfortable with, and just get really good with it. And so that's kind of that's how I decided. Would I necessarily say that Landorus is better than the Fluttermane or the Landorus Eye that we've seen on other versions of Size Spam? You can take it or leave it. I would consider dropping it for EUIC for sure. But yeah, it was a strong meta call, and it does give you more of a defensive backbone into the Ursalunas that you don't otherwise have, being able to intimidate them, Terra Steel, play some mind games there. And it gives you the fact that you can keep pivoting a lot more effectively with U-turn on Urshifu and U-turn on Landorus means that you really aren't scared of Rillaboom, because Rillaboom really doesn't want to switch in when you have U-turn live. It just takes so much damage, and also you can then they lose their terrain. So I think it was really good into the balanced matchup as well.
Mm-hmm. That is cool. I like that. I like that a lot, even though I think Landorus Therian is terrible. I think that Pokemon is beyond redemption in Regulation F. I don't know. It continues to do all right, but it's just Adi. This guy's the real ground type. This is the real ground, or the other genie, Actually, the perfect segment, perfect segue into the quiz game. I wanted to talk about Landorus Eye. And I wanted to ask you guys. I think instead of having everybody, I'm gonna just pick on people for this one to start because so I'm gonna Stefano, I'm gonna have you start. I need you to tell me Landorus's top 5 moves in order. What is the most common move to the 5th most common move? See if you can get them in the correct order.
I will say the top one is her power, at least.
All right, just go through all 5 and I'll tell you when you're right. I'll tell you at the end. So.
Okay, so I guess her power, maybe Sludge Bomb. Yeah, Sludge Bomb, Protect. And then both Sensor and Sub makes sense. I'm trying to think if there is something else. I will go with Sensor and Substitute.
In that order?
Yeah.
Sanseer then sub. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
I
you.
feel like Protect might be number one, right? Protect is because you could conceivably drop Earth Power for Sanseer, but you can never
You
drop
were-
Yeah,
Protect.
it makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
You were closer to right, Adi, but Sludge Bomb is number one. Sludge Bomb is the
What?
first move on Landorus at 99.15%. Protect at 98%, 98.7, whatever. Earth Power at 97%. I guess there are a decent amount of people who decide, yeah, I'm good with just Sanseer.
Okay.
Then sub, then Sanseer. So that's quite funny. Then let's see. So that one I was looking at the earlier today. Let's see. I was trying to find moves that were like close to 100 usage as well. That was something I was messing with. But all right, here is another funny one. So Ogerpon, you figure it's probably always running Ivy Cudgel, right? Technically none of them are at 100% Ivy Cudgel usage. So Adi, I'm gonna throw this one at you. Rank the Ogerpons based on Ivy Cudgel usage. Which one uses Ivy Cudgel the most versus the least?
Which one uses Ivy Cudgel the most versus the least? Okay, so the least is probably Grass Ogerpon because it actually has like a reasonable reason to not use Ivy Cudgel. It just
It
has
is
other
the very
grass
easy
moves.
outlier. It is correct, of
that-
course.
Right. I think that I would say So I think that Hearthflame probably use it the most. I really can't imagine dropping it on Hearthflame. You just want that big damage Terrifier move at every point. Like you want that option all the time. And then the middle two are the hard ones. But I think that if I ever wanted to, if like I think that the rock coverage is a little too good, whereas the water coverage I can see being redundant a little more easily. So I'm gonna say from highest to lowest, it is Hearthflame, Cornerstone, Wellspring, and then Teal Mask.
Exactly correct. He did it. Yeah, Hearthflame runs it 99.96% of the time. Cornerstone runs it 99.92% of the time. So close. And Wellspring runs it 99.87% of the time. And then I can't remember. I gotta go find Teal Mask, but it was quite a good amount lower for exactly the reasons as you mentioned. A Spiky Shield is actually its number one move. Ivy Cudgel down at 83%. All right, let me see if I have one
before
more
we go on.
Yes.
Check this out. Check this out. My mom just sent me a text with the
what is this?
There it is. This is the card that we get for getting 200 championship points.
Wait,
It's hard to tell
arrived for
because it's on
you?
my phone. Yeah,
Or
it just it came to my address, my parents' address. I'm trying to make sure that you can't see my address on here, but yeah, it did just arrive. So those are coming out. Look forward to that.
Okay. I'll have to go check my mail, see if mine came. All right, I gotta find one more that I want to throw at Max before we wrap up here because I was looking through a lot of these and we were just I was doing this in call with Nails and we were cracking up at some of the stupider ones. Because we just could not find a 100% move. I was trying so desperately to find, but I think that's just kind of an impossible task. So this one was kind of funny. I think that's too challenging though. It's too challenging.
Doesn't like Urshifu gets 100% on Surging Strikes or
I
get
think
low.
you would think Surging Strikes is the same as Ivy Cudgel on Hearthflame, 99.96.
Oh.
I know, right? I mean, there's like literally
Okay.
one person out there who's running Aqua Cutter or Shifu and is convinced that that's the better move that is a water type that can crit. But yeah, I think this last one, maybe I'll do for Max here. It might end up being a little. It's not gonna be that challenging.
Here, I got one. I got a good one.
Okay,
Unless you really want to go. Unless you got one. Name the
Mine's
top
okay.
5 moves. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. You want to name the top 6 moves in order that Torkoal runs.
Tough. And we're throwing this at me or Max?
I
throw it
guess
at Max.
honestly, if you okay, we'll throw it at Max. Sure.
I guess Eruption has to be the first.
Yep. That's the easy one.
Then Heatwave.
Hmm.
Okay.
Heat wave. Air power.
Earth power. I feel like maybe I'm gonna play along with you. Is it protect next?
Earth Power and Protect are both not in third place.
I guess
Okay.
it was helping hand.
It's
Yeah.
not weather
Helping
ball.
Hand is also not in third place. It is Weather Ball.
Okay, weather ball.
Okay, so Eruption, Heat Wave, Weather Ball. What do you think is fourth?
I
You guys
still
got the correct next three moves.
Okay, is it protect then? Is it protect then?
It is
I would
Protect.
say helping hand.
Okay. Then what did you say? Helping hand, earth power. Definitely earth power over helping hand. Earth power first, then helping hand.
No. Nope. It is 94% Eruption, or 94.8% Eruption, 69% Heat Wave, and then 50.2% Run Weather Ball, 50.259% Run Weather Ball, 50.237% Run Protect, 49.973 Run Helping Hand, and 41.5% Run Earth Power, followed by Yawn, Clear Smog, and Overheat.
Okay.
Lower than that. Much lower
What's
than that.
the most used item on Torkoal?
It's gotta be just.
Believe it or not.
Charcoal.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's
It is
charcoal.
charcoal.
I bet
It's
I was
charcoal,
thinking-
but only by 3%. 37% charcoal, 34% choice specs, and 12% heat rock.
Yeah, I was not thinking about the charcoal Torkoal. I was just thinking about
And-
the spec and something weird.
For what it's worth, there's another 3% that run flame plate, which is the same as charcoal. So
So the item that extends the weather is not on.
it is.
The
Heat
char-
rock is third.
Okay. Yeah.
I forgot to before we wrap up here now. I do want to look at some of the other smart monies that we grabbed. I think Juan did. Got like top 16 over there.
Juan got
Commander,
20th, I believe.
top 8. I think
Juan got
Billy
20th.
both top
Billy
8
and
here.
Commander got top 8, and Kenneth
Kenneth
also
top-
got top 8.
No, I think Kenneth
or
was
top
Kenneth
4?
top 4.
Top 4.
All right.
Top 4.
So looks like I
We got
technically
one.
got over there, and then we did pretty incredible in Europe actually, considering how large of a tournament it was. Carrie literally calling the winner. Adi, you got a top 4, and I got a top 8. So very good picks there. And yeah, I think I'm gonna clean up the stats game a little bit, but I think there might be some stuff there. We'll figure it out. Anyways. Thank you both, Stefano and Max, for joining us this week on Tub Takes. It was a lot of fun getting to talk with you guys.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, same.
All right. Well, I'll figure out who we're gonna throw the raid over to. It's not quite our usual time, so we'll see if anybody's out there streaming some Scarlet and Violet VGC or anything like that. And in the meantime, if you're here now but you didn't catch the beginning, this is going to be uploaded on Adi's YouTube channel tomorrow. !YT in the chat, CK49 on YouTube. Definitely go check out his Champions video as well. It was a really cool watch. Otherwise, if you
I think we're gonna send you over to KCVGC, who is
KC.
in the Champions waiting room. Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Yes. All right. Y'all have a good rest of your evenings, days, whatever, for the rest of the different time zones. Everyone take care. Catch you around, peeps. Peace.